Well, I have my hands raised, but you can't see them because I got this background on a green screen. So let's see if you can see them like this. No, still can't. Anyways, this is the Chopping Block Podcast, episode 3, Contenders and Pretenders. To me, I look at it this week is the biggest week in college football so far. The matchups we have are just incredible. Just incredible. Before we get started, we just wanted to say, tragic day in this country. Thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk's family, friends, loved ones. As a father, couldn't imagine leaving my loved ones behind. But we're going to give you some sports, and that's what we do best. We're going to move on from that. This week in college football, and we're bringing you the NFL as well, thanks to our great producer, Beast of Kane, right there on the bottom. So, hey, a lot of talk about this week. Number one, hosting the Clemson Tigers are the 2-0 Yellow Jackets for real. Craig, go ahead.
I believe they are, but I think it's very, very dependent on how healthy Haynes King is. Got dinged up, sat out last week, so we'll see what he does. You said contenders and pretenders. I mean, you kind of have both there. I think they're both a little bit of a pretender, but Clemson is a big pretender. We kind of said that from the beginning. I think everybody kind of thought that, at least on the podcast and jump. So yeah, I got that. I got Georgia Tech in that one, man. Dependent again. If Haynes King's 100%, I feel pretty firm on that. But we'll have to see how it goes. He's a game time decision as of this morning. The last thing I looked at, so we'll see how that goes.
Havoc, are you with us?
Yeah. I got to go with Georgia Tech, too. Based on what I've seen from Clemson this year, they don't look the same. They're off to a slow start. And, I mean, a lot of what Craig said is true. If Haynes King is healthy, if he's healthy, they have a good shot to win this game. He's a very efficient dual-threat quarterback, 60-year senior. So, yeah, it's going to be dependent on Haynes King's health. And I hate to copy Craig here, but I agree. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they said Haynes King started school in 2012 somewhere, and right now he's leading the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. No, I agree. I think Georgia Tech is primed and destined to beat Clemson for the first time. I mean, I don't know when the last time they have beaten them. They have to beat them after Calvin Johnson, but it hasn't been often. I think Georgia Tech finds a way, especially if Haynes King plays. KD, what do you got?
You're muted, KD.
I got a sneaking suspicion that this week Clemson is going to get a convincing win. I think it's going to be by 10 points or more. I don't know how healthy Haynes King is. I don't think it really even matters. I think Clemson, I said it, so I'm going to stick with it. I thought Clemson was a top 5 team this year. I still think they are. They played LSU a good game all game long and come up just a little short at the end. They had a setback last week, but I know all about setbacks and how teams come out unprepared and they can just look like crap. And I don't think it's going to happen 3 weeks in a row with Dabo.
All right, two-turn. The first time making his appearance this year on the Chopping Block podcast. People have been asking. A lot of people have called you out saying as soon as Alabama lost, he went running. But he's running from the state of Georgia tonight on his way to the great state of Florida, which I used to call home, and I miss it. I do. But I also love it here in Georgia, so I get it. But two-turn Tony is back. What do you got?
He looked like he froze, so let me go ahead and speak because he's on the road and he probably on an Android telephone. That's why he can't get anything going. But anyway, I'm going to say it like this, man. I'm going to say what everybody is thinking about the Clemson-Georgia Tech game. We don't know what the hell is going to happen in this game. It's so balanced. You got both of the quarterbacks. On paper, You think Georgia Tech is a home game. If King is healthy, King gets it done. I love him. Y'all know I've been on him for the last 2 years. But I'm going to go again. For the second time this year, I'm going to agree with Davis. I hate that. I hate Dabo's ring. I cannot stand him at all. I don't like nothing about him. But this seems like a game that they can come in and steal and get everybody back on the Clemson train, and LSU can feel good again about that win because it's up in the air right now how good of a win that is. So even though my heart wants to pick Georgia Tech because I love King, I think Clemson go in and get it.
2-turn.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually with Barry and Kevin on this. I don't think Clemson has played good at all yet this year. I think they're due for a good game. I just don't think Georgia Tech's good enough altogether. I mean, Georgia Tech hasn't looked good neither. Haynes King is the only thing that holds them together. They don't have the receivers they had last year. I mean, their best receivers at Auburn now. Yeah, they can run the ball, but Clemson's going to set out to stop the run and let King throw it. So I don't think he can throw it good enough to beat Clemson. I think Clemson wins by double digits also.
Okay, well, we will see. I think we called it both ways there. Some people going for Clemson, some people going for Tech. Like I said, I think it's a top 3 game of the weekend. But number 2 tonight, with tickets starting at $14 a piece, is anyone in Alabama excited to host undefeated Wisconsin this weekend? Is this a must-win for Bama and Kalen DeBoer? And finally, is a 21.5-point favorite outrageous? Craig, start us off.
They whittled it down to 20.5 now, I think. The spread's 20.5 according to CBS. What can I say about Alabama football this year? We just don't know. I mean, this isn't the Polytechnic went through the blind they played last week, so we'll see. I mean, Wisconsin put a team out there. Will they cover? I think they'll probably cover. I think it might be a little closer in the first half. It all depends. There's so many variables going into it. It all depends on if they – I don't think they're overlooking Wisconsin. I think that was a lesson they learned the first week about overlooking teams. But I think Alabama covers, as much as that pains me to say that. And of course, the trailer parks are full of very interested people in this game in the state I live in. So wait and see what the amount of rednecks show up to that game for tickets are $14, buddy.
Hey, you might be right. There might be thousands of people in the great state of Alabama that say, "Wow,
Yeah.
$14, we're going." I mean, this is better than Christmas in July.
Well, Alabama's back, right? That's what we heard. Alabama is back. Okay.
To some people, Barry, Bama has never left and never can leave.
73 points on Louisiana Monroe, and Alabama is back again. Listen, man, when you start out the season as bad as Alabama did, any win would have been a good win. Anything would have been a good win. It's such a big overreaction, but I understand it. You got to build some momentum however you can. Sure, this is going to be another game for Alabama to feast on their prey. So this is going to be a good game. Alabama probably most likely, I believe, they're gonna win the next 2 weeks. But then when they get between them hedges and Curry going to drop the nuts on them. That's how it's going to happen. We all going to get between them hedges. And, that's what's going to happen. But I think it's anytime Alabama plays, you want to see it. It's box office. It's Alabama. And to me now, even more than ever, watching Alabama play now because you actually got a shot to get them. So, it's worth watching because, like Craig said, nobody knows, not even Alabama. Nobody knows what they are.
Hey, that's a great point. I'll give it to you. That is the way you put it with it is that important of a game. And I'll lead into this one too, and I'll let somebody else give their take. If he loses this game somehow, which I don't think Alabama's losing, I'm just saying, But if he loses this game, I'm just going to be 100% blunt. Is he gone on Monday or on Sunday, or do they let him ride the season out and just take it on the chin? Because to me, if they lose, I think everybody's shocked. But what's really more shocking is that they're 10-10 in the last 20 or something like that. I mean, it's that to me just don't even seem real. Like I mean, I've been to many Alabama games where
It was
5-5.
It was 5-5 in the last. It was 5-5 in the last 10. But first off, look, just like last week when I told you, and I get it. Hold on, this idiot just pulled out in front of us. I'm about to go to jail. All right, we're good. So like I said last week, I mean, when Kevin was overreacting, and I love him to death. I love my Bama fans to death, but it's another one of the things. Look, like I said last week, it's Louisiana Monroe. Look, it's not a thought that game is going to be close. I get Saban lost to him his first year. Saban inherited a team that was on probation, scholarship limits, and all the other BS. This game is not going to be close. I do agree. We don't know what Bama is. We really don't. Tickets are $14 because Wisconsin's terrible. Wisconsin was in a dogfight their first game until the fourth quarter with Cave Springs School of the Blind, and they barely won. They played somebody else last week, and I think they won by 17. This game is not going to be close. Ty Simpson, he started to get some confidence last week. He's going to carry that confidence this week. Ryan Williams is back. There's rumors that Jam Miller will be playing this week. I hope that we don't play him simply because we can play this game without him and win convincingly. We need to win this game. Like I said, we'll win convincingly. Get into the bye week. Get him ready for the Georgia game because he was an X factor against Georgia a year ago. We need him 100% healthy when we play Georgia. Barry said we was going to win the next 2 weeks. Well, we are going to win the next 2 weeks because we don't play nobody next week. So we're gonna beat Wisconsin handily. This is going to be a close game. It's not me being cocky. It's just Wisconsin's terrible. They're not good. They don't have a quarterback. Alabama will win by 30.
All right. Well, I still want my question answered. If somehow they lose this game,
no matter what happens this season, Kalen DeBoer is not fired.
That's not true.
That's my take.
That's not true.
That's my take. That's my take.
That ain't on. But that's being disingenuous, man. The reason
it's not. It's me. It's me thinking rational. It's me thinking. Let me say why.
Let me finish. Let me just say this. I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is just factually incorrect. You're saying
why is it incorrect? Give me a factual reason.
Hold on. What you're saying?
No, man. I'm saying give me reasons, like factual reasons why that's incorrect, and then I'll combat it.
Well, I'm actually trying. So what I'm saying is, none of us can say that no matter what a coach does, he's not going to get fired. What you're saying is, I don't think Alabama is going to lose enough games where he's going to do something stupid enough to get fired. That's what you're actually saying. So what I'm saying is, if he goes in and he loses 4 or 5 games, he's going to get fired. He's going to get fired if he loses 4 or 5 games.
JD, what do you got to say?
Give me a factual reason. But no, let me finish because Barry said I asked for a factual reason. That's just an opinion if they lose 4 or 5 games. My reasoning is why I think he can. I don't think we will, but he can lose 5 games and not get fired. Because, like I said, it makes no sense. If you're Greg Byrne in Alabama, unless Nick Saban is calling you right now saying, after 5 losses, I'm coming back to coach, it makes absolutely no sense to fire the guy because you're going to put the program in a worse spot than it was a year and a half ago when Saban retired. You're just going to be worse, and then you're going to get set back 8 years.
Sometimes you can
so
buy
you're going to like USC.
What do you say?
You can't. When you're Alabama's a poverty state, we don't have money for a buyout.
So
coach.
I'm going to respond
like Auburn has for the last 8 years.
I'm going to respond to a couple of things both of you said, and then I'm going to be actually answering Steve's question. Barry, everybody knows I love you. You're like the uglier brother that got adopted when we were younger, but that don't mean I don't love you. We're simply not going to fire Kalen DeBoer because we don't have the money to do that. Unless Kalen DeBoer gets caught doing cocaine with strippers in a hotel and we can fire him with cause, we're not paying a $70 million buyout. So as far as Tony saying I overreacted last week, I don't think expecting a coach that's getting paid $10 million a year to have a team a lot more talented than the one he went up against, have that team prepared and ready to play, and then shit in the bed would be considered overreacting to it. It was a piss poor performance.
No, I was just saying overreacting as far as you saying. I was just saying overreacting as far as you saying that you were prepared for a close game against Louisiana Monroe. That's what I was saying was overreacting. I don't think it was an overreaction. Some of the things people were saying to Florida State, because I get it. We shouldn't have lost.
I was prepared and I'm prepared for another close game against Wisconsin, because until we get to a point where we're playing in a consistent manner, you don't know what Alabama team's going to come out of that tunnel every week. And Kalen DeBoer has got to get that straight. Now, to answer a little bit of your question, Steve, this is absolutely a must-win game. You can lose 2 ball games in a season, and you got a pretty good shot of still getting into the playoffs. If you lose 3, you're counting on other people to lose to make your own destiny. So if Alabama wants to control its destiny, it has to win this game. If it does not, it has no shot to get in the playoffs, mainly because the team and the coach is not that good, because we should absolutely beat Wisconsin by the spread, and it should not be close because they are terrible. And if it is, I'm going to be right back on here saying I want Kalen DeBoer gone, but it's not going to happen. We just don't have the money for it.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Are you telling me right now that you believe wholeheartedly that there's no amount of games that he can, not that he will, but no amount of games that he can lose this year and not get fired?
In my gut, I do believe that. Now, I could be completely wrong, and we might have 4 or 5 boosters that they can't stand that so much that they say, you know what, we'll give $10 million to the buyout cause. But I mean, when you're talking about, and I guess it's a level of importance. If I was a billionaire, I would not pay his buyout just because I had that money. It's just bad financial decisions. So if you want to leave,
this is to Barry's point. I mean, hell, Margaret can win the Powerball tomorrow and pay Kalen DeBoer's thing off, like she said, whatever the hell her name was. I mean, anything can happen if we're going stuff like that. But if we're thinking logically, I don't see any scenario, unless, like Kevin said, Kalen DeBoer, which he obviously isn't, or Jeremy Pruitt, where they're going to screw a cheerleader and have a situation like that. So that's the only way.
I like how he said logic and put Bama fan in the same sentence. You just don't hear those two together very often.
What you got on
that hates Alabama worse than Craig.
You have it.
On me? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go with Alabama here. Now, obviously, it's a little different watching them without Nick Saban. But, yeah, they have more talent than Wisconsin. Hopefully they run the ball more than when I watched them play FSU and stick to the run. But, yeah, Alabama should win this game. I'm going with Alabama. And is it a must-win game? I would say no, not this early in the season. No.
Craig,
no.
Have it. Hold on, have it.
No, not this early in the year. I'm going to stand on that. No one can convince me. I'm standing on it. Not a must-win game.
Think about it. They already lost to Florida State, and then they turn around and lose to Wisconsin, and then you got the breadth of the schedule that you got left.
They'd have to win out.
If they want to go to the playoff, this definitely has to be a must-win game, Abby.
They could okay, but I picked them to win anyway. It's still not. No, I'm going to stand by what I said. I disagree. I'm going to go with it's not a must-win game, but I am picking them to win.
What if they lose?
Then they'd have to win out.
Definitely.
But I picked them to win, though.
Yeah. I picked them to win, too.
Yeah.
Tony, Craig.
I already got mine on that game. I think they cover.
All right.
Hey, real quick before you switch to go, because I didn't get to say it whenever you said something about people saying I disappear when Alabama loses. If any of y'all that are on here watching, just go to Rome High School basketball the Facebook page. Go look every Wednesday, starting at 6:30. We have basketball camp. So if I'm not on the show, I'm there getting kids better. If you got a kid that wants to play basketball, bring them out. Other than that, I'm here. I don't run from smoke ever. Ask Barry. I'm always ready for it.
Yeah, he does, but he's not alone because Georgia fans are the same way. I can't. We go back to 2023. The show was rolling. When Georgia lost, we start losing commentators. People start disappearing. It's just the truth. Whenever Georgia and Bama lose, the show gets weird.
The only reason Dalton hung around, he's contractually obligated.
I've never missed a show following a loss unless there is proof that I was working, like I said, basketball. I've been here when we lose. I ain't scared. Don't be scared.
Barry brought up a great point. Why not talk about the greatest team in recent memory, the Georgia Bulldogs? 8 years of dominance. Can the Dogs make it 9 in a row when they travel to Knoxville to take on the Vols? All right. Have you ever seen the video where those two guys are making fun of Tennessee fans? They're sitting in the garage and they're like, "Go Vols," and they got them fake teeth on. That is what I think about all people from the terrible state of Tennessee. I can't even say great state of Tennessee. Ain't nothing great about it, but maybe Gatlinburg and maybe Nashville. We'll give them those two cities. But listen, Tennessee stinks, and I would say half the people on this thing would agree. Maybe not even half, maybe all of us. But what makes this game different this year, if anything? I mean, I think that's the real question. You know, TJ, you said it in the pregame. Georgia has beaten Tennessee like a drum for quite a while, and they have hyped this game up for quite a while. So, I want to say the last time we lost this game was Jacob Eason year and the Hail Mary. I could be wrong, but it's around that time. Craig, what do you got to say about this game? I think Georgia gets it done in Knoxville, and I think they get it done comfortably.
Yeah, this is a 2:30 kick on ABC. I'm afraid by 2:45 I'm going to be watching SMU and Missouri State. That's been the flow of this game. Every year, I'm agreeing with TJ on this one. Every year, it's like, oh man, Georgia, Tennessee, and then what happens? You look up and it's 26-3. So I think the same thing. You know, the only hump Kirby's really ever had is Alabama. That's been his big thorn in his side when he can't get that done. But he's never had a problem with Tennessee. I don't see that starting this year either. So I think I'm watching SMU Missouri State at 2:45. I'm going to go ahead and call it.
Well, for those watching in Eastern Standard Time, like most normal people in the United States, Craig is an hour behind us. And it's actually pretty nice when you ride to top of the river over there in Gadsden, Alabama. But after you get full of all the free coleslaw and whatever else they fill you up with, the ride back and then you gain an hour is just absolutely terrible. But if you guys want to make a Sunday trip one day, let me know. Hey, next game, man, this is going to be, some of y'all got to say on this game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. KD, Havoc, which one do you want to go?
Go Havoc.
All right. Yeah. I mean, this is an easy layup game to pick. I'm going with Georgia big here. They're going to run Tennessee out of the stadium and probably change it after the first quarter, similar to what Craig said. Georgia all the way.
Barry, I know you hate on the Dogs a lot.
No, I don't. I do.
Let's say sometimes you like to yank on that chain and pull that dog a little closer and show him who the master is, and that's how you do the Dogs.
When I get ready, the only time I'm gonna yank on them Dogs is when we meet him in the championship game, and if y'all lose to that sorry ass elephant in 2 weeks, whatever that is, that's when I'm gonna start yanking on the chain, because it's understandable. It's understandable to lose to Saban and then to lose to Debo one time. But why they down like this? If Debo beat Kirby, I'm off the Kirby train. Oh yeah. Listen, man, we talk about sports in a couple of different kind of terms. We talk about championships and we talk about legacy. If Kirby loses that game, it's going to hurt his legacy. I'm just saying. It's the same thing with Tom Brady. Lost to Eli twice. Eli making commercials on him. He said, my name Eli, and I'm 9. Tom Brady the GOAT. I beat him twice. Okay? That's the same thing that's going to happen to Debo when Kirby be trying to build his empire. So, no, I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to hate on the Dogs today. They're going to win that game comfortably.
All right. Hey, you made some great points. Who we got left? KD and Tony?
Yeah, I picked Tennessee the last 2 times, and they have disappointed me in this game, and I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm picking them again. Eventually, Heupel's going to get it right. Georgia, to me, when Alabama was beating Georgia, well, it was like it's past tense. We still beating Georgia. Anyway, the key to beating Kirby Smart is to have receivers going deep and getting one-on-one advantage. That's how Saban beat Kirby every time. I think Tennessee's pass protection is going to be better than it has been the last 2 years. I think their receivers are going to be running past Georgia's DBs all night long, and I think it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 34-27. Tennessee.
Wow. Tony.
Yeah, like I said backstage, and I hate to bring it up again because Barry's going to try to get all sensitive. Just like LSU before the season, I gave my take on LSU because of one thing, their defense. And until they showed me, I wasn't believing it. Just like with Tennessee. I ain't believing any of this crap with them until it's shown on the field. I do think they're more consistent now with Aguilar. But Tennessee ain't played Georgia close. And I'm sick and tired of this game being hyped up and, it's a 3-point favorite game Georgia's way. Everyone start hopping on the Tennessee line, and it's a 25. I will say Tennessee has had some bad luck at these games. I remember watching Georgia play. Jake Fromm fumbled, and I guess the Looney Tunes from Space Jam were under the turf and punched the ball back up to Isaac Nauta, and he just catches it perfectly in stride and runs it 30 yards for a touchdown. So, I mean, it ain't just been Georgia kids. There has been crazy involved, but I could walk down that street right now pissing on it and make it better. That place is terrible. The stadium's terrible. The colors are terrible. Those checkered freaking overalls are terrible. There ain't nothing good in Knoxville. I hope Rocky Flop breaks when they go to play it, and I hope Georgia beats the brakes off of them.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, before we move on, the last time I went to that stadium, Georgia played Tennessee, and I think they won 38-0 over Tennessee. The first time they had won against Tennessee, I think in a couple years at that moment. And, man, there was people at halftime, no joke, with bags on their head. Like, I'd only seen that on TV, and they were talking about the Cleveland Browns and stuff like that. But when I saw bags on multiple people's heads, I was like, this is insane. They really want this coach fired. And I think they fired him on Monday morning. It was Butch Jones. But the over-under is 49.5. Is that too high or too low? We'll go rapid chops right here all the way down. Take it away.
No.
Too low?
Not too high. Take the
49 points.
49 and above. Okay.
It's too high.
Tony.
I'm gonna say over.
Over.
Say
okay.
over.
KD.
I'm gonna say under.
Oh, okay. Have it.
Over.
All right. Number 4. This is going to be, just an intriguing game. And, honestly, when you look at the schedule before it, week 1, this is even, one of those question mark games for Miami. And now it's for real. The Battle of South Florida. Nobody thought we would say this, but USF is undefeated and ranked 18th. Can they get it done, or was the victory versus Florida the icing on top already for the season? And then lastly, if USF wins, do we put them in the top 5? honestly, in my opinion, they already have the best 2 wins in college football. If they had a third, I don't think you can argue putting them in the top 5. I don't care how big their school is, where they're at. I mean, they've showed it on the field. Listen, I don't like Carson Beck. I mean, how can you fumble the bag like that when you go to Miami and you get all that money and then you just, fumble the bag? Not going to describe what I mean on that, but some of you know. Anyway, what do you think on this? I mean, it's one of those things where if, obviously Miami's the better team, but if USF can come in there and play like they did last week and the week before, you got to give them a chance. I think Miami's probably going to get it done, even though Carson Beck is uglier than sin. But, Craig, what do you got to say about this one?
I don't think that USF covers. I mean, I don't think that Miami covers because it's a big spread, but I think Miami wins. Whatever the hell the MacGuffin title is, I don't know if you saw that. That's a official South Florida title belt for college football. They're calling this the MacGuffin title game, whatever that means. I think that stays in Miami, the MacGuffin title. They got to make stuff up for rivalries in other states, apparently. So I don't see them going into Miami. And there's a reason Vegas is not stupid. There's a reason it's 16.5-point spread. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think that they cover. I really don't think that they cover, but I think they win. And I think it'll probably be kind of boring in the fourth quarter.
All right. Havoc, you're down there in Florida. What are you hearing?
I got to agree with pretty much everything Craig said. I don't think they're going to cover the spread either. Now, I am picking Miami to win this game. If it were 2 years ago and Carson Beck were a first-year starter, I'd probably pick South Florida because of the momentum. Not this year, a fifth-year senior with championship experience, and he's been playing out of his mind the first 2 weeks, making some great throws. The game I saw against week 1 when they played, was it Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was making every throw the NFL scouts would ask you to make. He looked like a complete quarterback. Yeah, I got to go with Miami here, but they're not going to cover the spread.
Not a bad pick, Barry.
Miami, and like I said, Carson Beck is strange. I think you really don't know who Carson Beck is till you get a little pressure on him, like most quarterbacks. I don't know if USF would do that, but I kind of feel like this is a momentum game for Miami. And I think Beck is ready to roll for a little bit.
Tony, somewhere down there in the swamp.
Go to KD.
Got it.
I think he's lost in the quicksand. Go ahead, KD.
I think Miami's going to cover. I'm with Barry. I think it's going to be a kind of a statement game. I think everybody's buying in a little bit too much of that upset of Florida last week. I don't think they're as good as a lot of us thought. Maybe that coach is definitely on the hot seat. I think Miami's going to win. I think Beck's going to play a really good game. I think he's played well all year. So Miami's got a lot of speed. They got a lot of big bodies in the trenches. I just think USF's in for a rude awakening.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm a big fan of old Ghoulish at South Florida. I got a lot of crap from the guy to the left of me, the black one beside me. I can't think he's to the left of me, about how bad South Florida's quarterback is. Just so happens it's the same quarterback from last year that's there. We're going to leave it at that. But I do think Miami is going to win this game, but I said the same thing last week about Florida. I'm going to say this. The Swamp is a whole lot harder to go into and win than it is to go into freaking Hard Rock Casino Stadium in Miami, Florida. So I do think they got a lot of momentum. If they can cause some turnovers early, they might be able to pull that upset off. But I just don't see it. If they do pull it off, old Ghoulish, he will be hired by university on Saturday night. University after that win last week. But if he beats Miami, he's gone. But I do want to say it's not fair that Carson Beck's been playing college football since we were in 7th grade. And on top of that, the dude's got 360-degree vision. I mean, he's got Sid the Sloth eyeballs. He can see everywhere around him. So there's not a spot on the field he don't see when he's throwing. So it's just unfair however you look at it. But I got Miami by 7.
Like I said, one of the things about Carson Beck, I just came up with a great description of him. It's like you painted the perfect male out of a clay figure, right? And then you put it in the oven, and you take it out. You're trying to make sure it's shaped all nice, and you see one little thing on the nose that just makes you look at it a little closer. And then you smash the hell out of it with a shovel, and then that's how it just forms right there. I mean, Carson Beck, like we said, hey, we just hope he plays well because of how ugly he is. But hey, he's doing a little bit better than me. He's playing college football and having fun, so shout out to him for that. But listen, this one is so intriguing because If USF wins, none of you answer my question. They've got to be top 5, correct?
No, that's ridiculous.
I don't think they will be.
Top 10. Top 10.
Yeah, it's too. You can't listen. It's you.
How do they? Okay, explain me this. If all you say no, then explain me how does that? If all you say no, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But tell me. How would there be 5 better teams on paper that have that many wins against ranked teams? How does that not matter?
Because you talk
let me start this.
That's a difference in should and will.
All right. I mean, I agree with that.
Let me start this. Dalton, you've always been a person and everybody, you can vouch for me. You've always been a person that's been in here that said, you can't help who you play. I've heard you say that 100 times. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on paper right now. We all know these preseason rankings are bullcrap. I mean, Kansas State was ranked top 15, and they're terrible. So, I mean, I get that they might have more ranked wins, but you can't jump all these other teams that are undefeated. I understand that, but they're ranked wins now. What happens in a month from now if Florida falls apart and then Florida's not ranked at all because they've lost 3 straight? Does that still count as a ranked win? Because when the committee rankings come out, it doesn't count. Just like Alabama losing to Florida State. If Florida State's ranked when the committee rankings come out, it doesn't show that Alabama has a loss to an unranked team. It shows they've lost to the 10th ranked team in the country. So I think it's too early to buy in on
We can't hear you. Hey, we can't hear you. You sound like we can't hear you, Jimmy Neutron.
Yes, muffled, Tony.
Go ahead.
Well, you can skip me now, but I hope.
KD, I mean, what do you got to say on that? I mean, top 5 or no?
I don't think so. I really don't. But we'll see. Long season.
Well, hey, I thought I was making a decent. When I wrote that, I thought that I'd have at least 1 or 2 people say, "Hey, you know what? You're right. Maybe we do put them in the top 5."
It makes sense. That's why. So this ranking and stuff, just like Tony said, is just wow. It makes sense what you're saying, but we all know it's not happening.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's kind of how I feel.
I mean, and that's fair. That's fair. I mean, but here's what's crazy also, and I'll move on. A lot of people forget USF was ranked number 2 in the country. I believe it was in 2007. And think about it. If this was the old day in the AP poll and they were to beat Florida and Boise State ranked, and then they were to go in here and beat Miami, they probably would be ranked in the top 5. I mean, in the AP era, BCS or whatever you want to call it. So, I don't know. It was just an intriguing question. But if they win, we'll talk about it next week. Number 5, Texas A&M. They're going to go to South Bend to take on the Irish. Can the Irish rebound? Or is Texas A&M – I mean, is this their year? I mean, we've been told I guess. We've been told 4 years, I guess. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're a lot more clear now, Tony.
We've heard it for 4 to 5 years.
Swamp there.
That A&M might have a better team, this and that, and I just don't know. I mean, I really haven't seen them play enough, and we're going to know how good they are when they go to South Bend. I mean, that's a tough place to play. You know, I don't know if they get it done. I really think Notre Dame finds a way to win, because if they don't, it's the end of their season, in my honest opinion. Craig, what do you got to say?
Let me preface this by saying that Texas A&M is a cult, 110%. That's the weirdest fan base and weirdest guy cheerleader overall wearing. Woo, those guys, man, I can't. That being said, Elko lost the season opener last year to Notre Dame, and it threw his season kind of in a bit of a turmoil. Lost a couple games he shouldn't have, one of which being at Auburn last year. No way A&M should have lost that game. So I think these boys keep receipts. I think that they're going to go into South Bend, and touchdown Jesus is not going to help Notre Dame, and A&M is going to bring the wood. That's what I think.
What's the spread?
I want to say the spread is only like 4 points. Let's see.
Yeah, it's pretty close, I think.
6.5. Notre Dame 6.5.
Yeah, I like Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame is going to win that game. It's going to be a rebound for Notre Dame. Like y'all said, it's something about the Fighting Irish. That's a hard place to play. That thing going to be rocking. They need it. They need this game.
They got to have it.
They got to have this game. I think they win this game. I think the defense be ready. I think they're going to win this game, and they cover.
If I had a pick, if I could tell you guys to hammer a game at the casino, spread, watched every one of A&M's games this year, because I had A&M as a possible sleeper team to win the SEC because how easy their schedule is compared to SEC teams. But they're giving up 20-plus points to terrible teams, and I just don't think that they're going to be able to stop Notre Dame's run game. And Notre Dame does. I think Notre Dame.
We can't hear Jimmy. Go ahead, Dalton.
KD, what do you got to say?
I think it's a coin flip game. I think these teams are really both similar. They're both talented up front. I think Notre Dame has the head coach advantage, but I don't know. I think I'll take Notre Dame in this game just for the simple fact that it's in South Bend. If it was at Texas A&M, I'd probably take them. And I'm with Craig. Definitely, Texas A&M is absolutely the weirdest fan base in the entire country, and close. There's not even a close second.
All right, Havoc, last one.
Guys, I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm picking A&M. I don't think that Notre Dame's going to be able to stop Marcel Reed. He's a good dual threat quarterback, and I don't think they're going to have an answer for him. I'm going to pick A&M to upset him.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up Marcel Reed. I agree. He is a unbelievable talent. Sleeper guy coming into this year. I heard a little bit of buzz behind him, but it was all from A&M, like boards and fans. So you never believe stuff like that. I mean, we heard DJ Lagway was going to win the Heisman, and he's over here eating ice cream with Lieutenant Dan. So sleeper game of the week, unbeaten, meet up in Columbia, South Carolina. And, they talk about hot places. Let me tell you, Columbia, South Carolina is the devil's armpit. I mean, my heavens. One day, this is a crazy story. I got to tell this because this is hilarious. I almost cry laughing when I tell this story. Me and my dad was in Columbia, South Carolina one time and ate at a Japanese steakhouse. I don't know if it's downtown there anymore, but it was near the Capitol building. And our hotel, man, the power went out when we got there because it was so hot. Literally 115 degrees, and that's real temperature. Not feels like or nothing. It was a heat wave, and I was playing at the University of South Carolina for a couple days there. And, man, I tell you, we were staying at a hotel that was known for being like Sherman's headquarters when he came through the South. And it was a pretty cool deal. But apparently nobody had worked on the AC in years. So we're in there, and we walked back and forth to go eat at this place. And, man, it was so hot that we both got sick to our stomach and barely made it to the hotel. I'll just be honest with you, we might not have made it. I'll just put it that way. But that's what I think about South Carolina, man. That's the only thing I can think of. It makes me laugh. And then I went with Tony one time, and it was 102 degrees. No joke. I had my white Georgia jersey over my head like Beavis and Butthead just to try to get the sun off of me. And thankfully, Georgia won that game. But I did a food review there. When I came home, you should have seen me. I looked like Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob. But this is my matchup of the week, man. I mean, you know, Vanderbilt, they got this guy, Diego Pavia. I mean, where did they create this guy from? He's like a Napoleon Dynamite character. So, you know, he's going to go up there to Columbia and face Lenora Sellers, who arguably could be the best quarterback in the SEC, if not the country. We will see on Saturday night. But, guys, what do you think, Craig?
Well, I'll tell you this: if Vanderbilt was playing Auburn, I'd pick Vandy because Pavia is like the Friesen or the thorn in Friese's side. He's beaten him at every single level at every school he's played at every time he plays. This is kind of a come-upping game for me for Vanderbilt because they went from being a little bit of a splinter and a little bit of an irritation in the SEC. This year they can make a little noise, but that's where Vanderbilt is going to Vanderbilt. Right, you know, this happens about every 15 years or so. Vandy's got a real good team, and you're like, oh my goodness, they're going to make a little noise, and then turn around and lose 6 in a row. I don't think they're going into Columbia and beating South Carolina. So I got South Carolina in this one.
Yeah, you're right. You know, if this was a mathalon, we would probably pick Vanderbilt. But this will be a football game played in Columbia.
Tackle football. So, you know.
I'm making quick. Quarterback.
Yeah, I know he's 5'3". That only goes for so long.
Then
Havoc.
Yeah, I'm going with South Carolina. Lenora Sellers, good dual threat QB. He's probably going to be a top draft pick if he leaves. But yeah, this Diego Pavia is a pretty fun player to watch. I'm sure he'll make a few plays here and there, but I'm going with South Carolina, and Beamer's coaching some really good ball over there.
KD.
Man, I'm going with Vandy. Look, this game right here. Look, listen to me now. Listen to my reason. This is the first game we've seen all year where both teams have already had one common opponent. Dude, it took South Carolina everything it had to beat Virginia Tech. Vandy beat Virginia Tech like a drum. It wasn't close.
Yeah,
I love Vandy's head coach. Man, he gets them players so fired up. I'm becoming a little bit of a closet Vandy fan, and I'm as far from a doctor as you could ever get. But I'm telling you, man, Vandy's got something cooking down there. I think that's a special coach. I think that's a special team that believes in what the coach is saying. I got Vandy doing some crazy stuff this year. That's just me.
oh, y'all heard it.
Hey, like I said, I told the story about, you know, us possibly missing the restroom in Columbia, South Carolina. We're going to hope that Diego Pavia doesn't go to the restroom with himself in Columbia, South Carolina. But whoever wants to make a final statement on this game can make their statement.
I'd like to just make one statement. Look, as a guy that their team has played Diego Pavia, and Craig can attest to this, that little dude will straight up whoop your ass for 60 minutes, and there ain't a whole lot you can do about it. I mean, Alabama had a lot better team than Vandy did last year, and Vandy came in, and the game really, it wasn't that close. I'm telling y'all, don't sell that guy short.
Yeah, the only problem I have with that is, guess what Vanderbilt's record against South Carolina is over the past 20 years?
0-20.
0-16.
Guess what Vandy's record was against Alabama prior to last year?
That's true. That's true.
You're using a broken measuring stick, using Alabama to measure anything starting last year.
Look, I just think Diego Pavia's got something against the state of Alabama because he's whooped Auburn everywhere he's been, and he decided to take his frustrations out on Auburn to Alabama too. He's about to choke that chicken in Columbia is what's about to happen. Them Gamecocks, they just ain't good enough. Look, Sellers is good. He hasn't developed enough as a passer yet. and they're just not that talented on defense outside of the defensive end. I think Vanderbilt's going to control the line of scrimmage, exactly what they did to Bama, work that clock, and I'm going to go with the hometown kid. Martell Hott is going to be the difference maker in this game.
Just watch Vandy on defense. It's not all about Diego. Dude, Vandy will pop you in your mouth on defense.
You know what this sound like to me? This
And I
sound
don't
like
look, and I don't think Vandy.
this sound like Alabama fans trying to beef Vandy up.
No. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Dude, did you watch Vandy against Virginia Tech last week? Dude, Vandy, when I say dominated, it was like an NFL team against a high school team. Dominated them in the second half. It was not even physically close.
I don't think Vanderbilt's going to be this super great team, Barry. I think they're one of them. They're a rough team. I don't think they're great anywhere, but they play hard and they scheme well. I don't think they're this overpowered. I just don't think South Carolina is what everybody expected them to be this year. They lost too much from last year's team that what should have been a playoff team. If they wouldn't have got screwed against LSU, they're in the playoff. I mean that is what it is. That's fact.
Now you could. I just heard Kevin say, listen to when you say these words right here, it means something. I got Vandy doing crazy things this year.
That's not me. I got Vandy. That's not me. I got Vandy at 6 to 7 wins at the end of the year. That's me. But they will beat South Carolina, in my opinion, because, like I said, they just lost too many players. Last year they had a playoff team. The referee took the playoff away from them. That's my honest opinion.
Then we go to the next segment. He talking
about what it is. It's the truth.
Hey, well, that wraps it up for the college football show. And Barry, take us to the NFL show. And it's a great time. If you let me start it off, man, what a great first week of NFL football. Starting on, Thursday night, Friday night. Man, y'all love how the Chiefs lose. I mean, I love it more than anybody. And for the Kansas City Chiefs to lose in my wife's country of Brazil, hey, it couldn't have been any better. I wish I could have been there drinking a caipirinha and eating picanha in the stands and all this and that. But what a great early Christmas to watch the Chiefs lose on week 1. Barry, take it away.
In Brazil. I know you was going to say that. I know you was going to say that. But let's talk about something. Jalen Carter spit on that thing. I mean, I just got to hear. I want to say that. I want to preface this real quick, then I'm going to give it to you guys. When I saw him walk up to Dak Prescott, as a black man, as a brother, and spit on the black quarterback, why does that matter? When we grow up, they tell us the worst thing you can do to somebody is spit on them. That's what we taught from the cradle. Say, don't you spit on nobody. Don't you put your feet on nobody. That's what our parents all tell us. And he did that. And when I saw him do that, I lost all respect for him. I'm talking about to spit on something. I don't even think I would spit on my worst enemy. And for him to do that, I'll make a little fun on this, but that really rubbed me the wrong way. And I will tell you, that little money that he had to pay, it wasn't enough, in my opinion. What you got on this, KD?
Yeah, I think it was just, first of all, it could have lost his team the game. So it wasn't just super disrespectful to Dak and the league. It was hugely, I'd have a problem if I was his teammate. That's just being disrespectful to your teammate. I think it was Jalen Carter really hasn't shown that level of stupidity yet, as far as, so I'm going to give him just a little pass one time. I think it was a heat of the moment thing. You just don't know what is said between players. You see what he did, but you don't know what was said that could have, and I'm not saying anything justifies it. I'm just saying, for some reason, Jalen, spit on him. So I think it's classless. I think it was a bad move. It could have cost his team, the game. It cost him, a game. So I don't know, but make no mistake. If I'm starting an NFL team and they're saying you got 3 defensive linemen you can pick from, Jalen Carter's going to be one of those guys that I'd start my team around regardless.
You know what though, Kevin? Okay, so not just missing the game against the Chiefs, right?
Sure. Yeah. It was. I mean, it was
let me ask y'all this. Let me bring up one thing that I think we're forgetting here about this situation. I'll touch on one thing. So what he did is not right, but Dak Prescott clearly spit into the direction of him and looked him in the eyes and said something, and then he comes up and does spit in his face or on his shoulder pads or whatever. But listen, you say we're talking about a teammate and doing things that cost his team the game. Listen, he has made some questionable decisions earlier in his career. He was involved in an accident at the University of Georgia that killed one of his teammates, and he left.
What I was about to say.
He left.
I forgot about that.
Exactly what I was about to say.
I forgot that.
So listen, I'm not trying to beat up on the guy, but he's lucky he's not. He's lucky he's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then he goes out there and does that. It's not good for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not good for the city. I mean, it's not good for Jalen Carter. And that's
well, to build up on that right there, too, guys. Okay, after what he did, what you just described, and he's still doing stupid stuff.
Right.
He don't care.
He got some screws missing.
Yeah, an accident killed 2 people. Yeah. And he left the scene. So
I do believe that Dak started it. Okay, it's not justified, but Dak walked up and spit towards them and looked at him, did everything he said. Now that didn't give him a right to spit on him, but he actually did that.
Right.
I'll pick on him on here because I sure as crap ain't picking on him in person.
Right.
And just say, when you literally leave the scene of an accident, probably drunk after racing with a guy, 2 people are dead, your teammates are connected with the football team, and you leave because you're worried about your draft stock, that tells me all I need to know about you. So I don't know why we get surprised when they do things like this. I mean, is that a surprise to you?
It's not a surprise that it happened, and it's not a surprise he's from the University of Georgia. We tend to hire people that can't drive vehicles or at least drive them very fast and then make other questionable decisions. So it just goes with it. It's par for the course.
Yeah, he was part of the flunk students at Kirby's DUI school. But no, yeah, I'm with all y'all. The dude, he's an idiot, and he just doesn't. He's not very smart. He's a beast. He's just not very smart. And if I was Dak Prescott and he spit on me, it'd have been a replay of Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph. I'd have bashed him with my helmet as many times as I could before he got a hold of me. Because once he got a hold of me, I'd have been screwed. But I'd have hit him. I'd have got my licks in.
Exactly. All right. If we need to, we'll take a short moment of silence. We'll pray.
Please let me go.
And we'll do anything y'all want to do before we get into this segment. Kevin already praying because this is a legit segment question. It's not to get anybody riled up, but we got to talk about it because the people want to talk about this. Who carries the most blame? And are the Dolphins cooked? Let me start with you, Havoc, because you seem to be the most sensible of the crew.
And I got kicked out. I kicked myself out somehow, so I just popped back on. Thanks for getting me back in. Yeah. Who carries the most blame, and are they cooked? Yeah, the Dolphins are definitely cooked. I mean, but before I say who's to blame, keep this in mind, guys. Daniel Jones, who everyone in this room considered a bust with the Giants, he led the Colts to 7 straight scoring drives against this Miami Dolphins defense. So with that being said, I got to go with the coach. I got to go with Mike McDaniel. He carries the most blame to me because, I mean, Tua isn't playing defense. Tyreek Hill isn't playing defense. And Daniel Jones shredded this team.
All right, Havoc.
I'm going to go in on. Let me go in. Let me get in on them.
No,
Let me go in.
you wait till you get called on. and listen.
I'm waiting. I'm ready to get. To get all up in them.
He might get Havoc. Tua and Tyreek didn't play defense, but they didn't play offense either. They didn't play offense either. Go ahead, Two-Turn. Talk your shit.
Look, I'm gonna say the blame first before I start roasting these guys. I don't think it's anybody pictured. I think it's the Dolphins front office, and I'm gonna say why. Mike McDaniel should have never been hired. When you decided to get rid of Brian Flores, you should have went and hired a real coach. There was plenty of them out there, but instead you want to hire this little 120-pound anorexic nerd that ain't never done nothing in the NFL and think just because he's got a good offensive play style that it's going to translate. He sucks. He sucked when you hired him. He sucks now. Second, this offensive line has been terrible since before Tua showed up. This was terrible when Ryan Fitzpatrick was there. They have not done a single thing to fix that offensive line, and because of that, their best lineman, a Hall of Fame lineman, retired before the season. So not only is your line worse, now your quarterback also is not playing good, and Tua ain't getting a pass. He looked like a freaking middle school quarterback trying to throw to anybody but his team this last game. He didn't even look comfortable. And last but not least, I don't even want to get started on this cancer. He's one of the worst cancers you can think of Tyreek Hill. The dude can't hold a marriage together. He's been married 17 months and he's getting a divorce, and apparently it's domestic issues on top of it. The dude's getting arrested on the sidewalk for being an idiot. The dude is he's being a diva about anything and everything but football. And I'll give you something, Barry, because I know you like to rag on Tua, but imagine if this was Tua and was I looked at this stat today. Tyreek Hill has not had a 30-yard reception in over a year. 365 days and more since he's had a 30-yard reception. And some of that is on Tua. But I guarantee you Tua's had plenty of more 30-yard passes than all these other receivers. So it's just as much as Tyreek's fault as it is Tua's on this offense. But I will say the Dolphins are absolutely cooked. They will bounce back this weekend, though, because they're playing the Patriots. Sorry, Cub. Tua's never lost to us. The Patriots just gave up 400 passing yards to Geno Smith. So the Dolphins will win this week. That's going to be a short-lived. I'm so happy. The Dolphins are going to 6 or 7 games. They're going to fire the coach. Hopefully,
okay, Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron, we can't hear you again, and I'm so glad you got badges in them because you talking bullshit.
Hey, let me just say something about my Patriots real quick, because listen, Geno Smith, put some respect on his name, as Birdman.
Thank you.
Put some respect on his name, and the Patriots didn't get blown out by any means. So hey, we're gonna be there. We ain't gonna win the division. Nobody's picking us to win the division, but we gonna be competitive, and we were last Sunday. So KD, take it away.
That's what I was going to say. Giving up 400 yards to Geno Smith at this point, over the course of last year and the year before and this year, Geno Smith's a good NFL quarterback. I mean, 100%. And look, he has been delivering on teams that aren't good. And look, y'all know I love Tua. Tua is my favorite player to ever put on the crimson uniform. But at some point, to be a good NFL quarterback, you got to be good without a bunch of Pro Bowlers around you.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to hit the tight end, a different wide receiver. You have to keep the ball moving forward. Tua's main issue has always been injuries, but I just don't. I love Tua. I'm not writing him off. Don't get me wrong. I think he can still be a good quarterback on a good team. Now, again, if you have to be on a good team to be a good quarterback, then you're just average in the NFL, in my opinion. So I think Mike McDaniel, out of those three, I agree with Tony, it's the front office's fault. They've put a shitty team together. Mike McDaniel was a great play caller, I thought, his first year or 2 years in Miami. He did well. I thought the offense had a rhythm to it, but as time has went on, that team has zero discipline. Nobody on that team respects the head coach at all. Tyreek Hill is an absolute cancer. He should be gone. But I think out of those three, the head coach, and then I think they all share some blame. But I think Tua's best days are probably behind it.
Hey, Davis, listen. Tyreek wants to leave. He wants to leave there. And listen, this is one thing I thought about today. Y'all guys, you heard it first from STTDB. Listen, he could wind up at the Chiefs this year. He could.
Well, he wanted to leave the Chiefs too. So it's like Tyreek can't find a good.
But now it's like this. It's when you get that sweet little thing, that sweet little tender, and you let her go, and you get her back. Then you start making noise. You sit down. You go anyway.
But I also think Tyreek's first year with Miami, dude, Tua was hitting him with 70-yard bombs every game. It seemed like. But Tyreek is half-assing it. That's just point blank.
I think everybody on this panel right now, we all get motivated in different ways. Tyreek needs to be somewhere where he respect leadership and he respect the quarterback. He had all of that structure when he was in Kansas City. I agree with you guys about McDaniel. I don't have nothing against nerds, but at least if you're going to be a nerd coaching football, you need to have something about you. I mean, just look at the picture. I think this guy, he wanted to be funny. He wanted to be more of a comedian and be the smartest person in the room rather than coaching the football team. I think that ultimately snowballed. And I don't think Tua has ever been a great leader. He might be a nice guy, but I don't think he's a great leader. And then if you got an attitude or personality like Tyreek, then it just doesn't work. When you put all of that together and a bad front office, all of that together just can't work.
Yeah. Tua's been hit so much, he thinks he plays at Miami of Ohio at this point. So of the three pictures there, McDaniel takes the blame. You got Tyreek acting like Deion in his prime on the sidelines. Deion can get away with that because Deion can back it up
every game.
You can't
Tyreek's
pull a Jerry Jones like that. I mean, you got to get control. They just don't work now. I mean, so I put that 100% on McDaniel, and all you guys had good points. The front office has been a nightmare, obviously, but McDaniel he's the guy that sets the tone for chemistry, and there is none, zero on that team. And I'm sure everybody on here plays football. If you have no chemistry and you can't keep focus on the team, you're going to get your brains beat out, especially in the NFL. 100%. So go Patriots, Dalton. I think the Patriots going to pick one off this weekend, baby.
Yeah, I do too. I have to agree with that. Hey, listen, guys, let's talk about the best Alabama quarterback. Oh, excuse me, Oklahoma quarterback. It's Jalen Hurts making a case for the new face of the NFL. I want to hear it. I want to hear from you. Anybody, take it.
Yeah, he's not making the case. He's already made it. I mean, the guy's a Super Bowl champ. He's playing as good as any quarterback in the league right now. He's absolutely everything you want in a quarterback. He is calm. He's cool. He's got a great personality. His teammates respect him. He's a good-looking kid. Got a beautiful wife. And he's just really, you look at Jalen, man, he's really the guy everybody would love to be. And I think the NFL, if he's not the face of the NFL, it ain't because of his doing. I mean, the NFL needs to Jalen represents everything the NFL wants their players to be. So they better make him the face of the NFL.
You know what's so crazy about that you say that? I think you explained it perfectly. And and the thing about it is, you say that, I feel that, but most of what I hear is people hating on him. That's what I hear more than this guy getting love who tends to do everything right. I hear people hating on him more than anything.
And the reason for that is because there's no doubt about it. He's got the best team in the NFL around him. Every single one of his offensive linemen, I think 4 out of 5 of them grade in the top 3 in Pro Football Focus at their position. He's got 2, all-pro type receivers on the sidelines. A defense that his defense ain't as good this year, but it's not a bad defense. He's got the best, probably either the best or the second best running back in football. It's either him or Derrick Henry. So he gets a lot of hate because of all the talent around him, but it does not matter. I've seen other quarterbacks with a ton of talent around them absolutely shit the bed in the biggest games, and Jalen does not do that. I don't believe Jalen. I mean, Jalen.
He's got a prima donna
anything to hurt you at all.
No, he's got. He's not, and I hate to bring Tua back into this. I mean, he's got a prima donna. AJ Brown's a prima donna. He's got all kinds of issues, and you don't see that happening with Jalen Hurts. You don't see that with the Eagles. I mean, he's got a couple of flare-ups.
AJ Brown. Remember? I don't know if you remember his first year with Hurts, but when he wasn't getting targeted 8 to 10 times a game, he'd get a little mouthy with Hurts.
Yeah,
and something happened in that locker room after that happened.
I think
he hadn't been mouthy since.
They understand who the leader is. That's what a leader is.
Absolutely. AJ's kept his mouth shut. He might get you don't see him pouting on the sidelines if he's only got 2 catches for 35 yards at halftime.
Well, I believe that comes from coaching, because listen, man, Jalen Hurts, I'm telling you, he is quickly becoming like my favorite player. I mean, he just does everything right, And so I'm thinking when I say this face of the NFL, let's just say, for example, Havoc, what if he wins and answer the previous question? But what if he wins another Super Bowl this year? Jalen Hurts.
If he wins one this year, yeah, you have an argument. But based on what the league is trying to do, the league doesn't want him to be the face. The league wants Lamar Jackson to be the face of the league. So what you guys are saying sounds great in theory, but it's a fantasy. It's not going to happen. The league is clearly wanting Lamar to be the face. Now, does that change my views on Jalen Hurts? No, Jalen Hurts is a great system quarterback. He can run the Philadelphia system very effectively as in a dual threat, non-traditional quarterback where he passes and runs. Yes, he's a very effective player that way. Now, does that mean he wouldn't succeed elsewhere? We'll never know. He's been very successful with the Eagles. But yeah, if he wins a second Super Bowl, Barry, yeah, you got to make him the face of the league. Now, do I think it'll happen? No. It's very obvious to me that the league wants Lamar Jackson to be the face.
I will.
He's won everywhere he's been.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Just a rebuttal. I mean, yes, he is great for the Philly, offense. And as much hell as I give him when he was at Alabama, he still only lost 2 games as a starter in 3 years at Alabama. Then he went to Oklahoma, which was a completely different system, and threw the ball all over the stadium. So, and I know that's college versus NFL, but he's been shown at all levels of his career so far, he's been able to transition systems and do okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is it's still a spread dual threat system. It's not a traditional NFL offense. So it's not the same way you'd evaluate another quarterback. You have to judge them differently. It's completely different.
But
let me ask you this: why are we still even having that conversation though? Because
it matters, Barry. It does matter.
I know it's different. I know it's a different style. I agree with that. But what I'm saying though, we have had dual threat quarterbacks in the league now forever now. And so at this point, to me, it's almost, it's just like if we have 3 more dual threat quarterback, white or black, come into the league next year, that's just 3 more of probably like another 10, 12 guys that's already in the league. So at the end of the day, it's about now. Yeah, but it's about winning.
And the teams like
I haven't said anything. I haven't criticized it. I've just said it's a different style.
That's it. Philly is so good.
Well, let me see if I can explain what Havoc's saying. Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking. Barry, I get what you're saying about the dual threat stuff, but at the same time, right here, it is completely different because yes, we've had dual threats in the league, but like they were saying, that it's the system itself. Like the system that Jalen runs in for the Eagles, there's only one other dual threat in the NFL that could run that as effectively as him, and that, in my opinion, that's Lamar. I don't think you could put any other quarterback in the Eagles' offense and run it as effectively as Jalen, other than Lamar. And I still don't think Lamar can run it as effectively as Jalen because he can't make the throws that Jalen makes.
Well, what about Josh Allen?
But
yeah, Josh Allen can.
Josh Allen could for sure.
Josh Allen cannot run that type of offense. He is a scrambler runner. He's not let's run a RPO style offense.
He could.
Like that's a completely different thing. Josh Allen's a great runner. No, he couldn't. He's never done it. Like, where's our basis for saying he could? Just because he's talented?
It's not because he's talented. It's because he's got every physical skill trait to run that type of system.
Yeah.
If they put Josh Allen in that system, he could run it. He could run the same exact plays.
Absolutely.
But I think it just kind of is. It's starting to piss me off a little bit. It hurts it getting the respect that because his team said, "Hell, we've got this quarterback that could be absolutely Hall of Fame level. So let's put this around him, and we won a Super Bowl." That's what it's all about.
Can I ask you guys? Can I just real quick before we go to the next slide?
Well, wait, Barry. I have one more point to interject on that. I do think the reason he's not getting the respect, and I do think he could potentially be the face of the league. But what I was saying here is the league wants Lamar to be the face, and the media, other quarterbacks, and what Cam Newton said about Jalen Hurts having all the help, that didn't help. That didn't help his case at all. That's what kind of started all this, was Cam Newton's comment.
Well, if I was anybody with ears, Cam Newton would be the last person that I listen to. I'll be honest with you. He's just a diva. He's like a lot of these other people. It's like what I said on the group meeting the other day. I hate how these guys are covering football. That's why certain guys that I just like to hear, they talk about the game.
Every Auburn fan I've ever met, you ought to see what Craig wears when he's not on his podcast. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He looks like Cam Newton.
I loved him. I love Cam. I loved Cam when he was playing football. He was always a little much. But now that he can't play ball anymore, and he's just a mess now. And I listen. I can't watch Stephen A. I can't watch him. Literally, I cannot listen to him. I literally get nauseated if I hear him talk. I will not listen to him. I'm the same way on Cam. Because Cam, he's all about click, and I'm getting like that on Ryan Clark. He always saying something.
Oh
stupid.
my Lord,
Yeah,
he embarrasses himself.
It's like
He's bad.
You know what I mean? And I'm to the point that I can't even listen to them guys anymore. But so I don't care nothing about what he has to say. You guys have Jalen Hurts in top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Top 5. He got to be top 5.
Yeah, for sure. He's earned top 5. Absolutely.
Let's talk about some of these little youngins. Because I'm really anxious to hear what y'all got to say about some of these guys. Okay. So most impressed with so far, we'll have the worst year. We'll have the best year. Most likely I shouldn't say most likely to win the playoff game. So I messed up that slide. Let's go, Craig.
Worst year statistically is going to be Cam Ward, and I hate that. I love the kid. He's just in a bad system. He's not in a pass friendly. Penix will have good, and you saw what Caleb did the other night. They found a way to lose that game. But Cam's going to have the worst stats. He'll have the worst stat line. Just because he plays for the Titans. And I like the Titans. I do. But, man, they've been lost since the AFC Championship game 15 years ago. They've just been lost. I hate to see that come in because he doesn't have a lot of help. They keep trading his talent away. But, his stat line 12 of 28 for 121 last week. No touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a crazy stat line for an NFL quarterback.
But it was kind of comparable for a lot of people. And watching that game, it was a pretty close game for a while. I think he got away from late in the fourth, but I thought Cam for his first showing, I thought he played good. What's up, David?
He did good. He made some really bad reads. Made a couple errant passes, like the stuff you get away with in college. The windows, that big. In the NFL, the window's that big.
Yeah,
it's just a learning curve, man. That takes some time. There ain't
I'm
no way to learn that to be in it. So I think the game is coming at him at 1,000,000 miles an hour right now, and he's got to get some more time where it starts slowing down, where it makes sense to him. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think I'll do 4 of them really quick. Michael Penix, Cam Ward, Justin Fields, Drake May. I see all 4 of those guys having some really good upside. Very little downside. They all got strong arms. They all got some mobility. They all seem pretty smart in the pocket. I think all those guys are going to be good. The last 2, and the only reason I'm going to talk about these 2 is because they battled head to head this past weekend. McCarthy and what's the Bears quarterback's name? Good Lord.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. Look, here's my thoughts on this. During that game, the first half of football, Caleb Williams looked like the truth. McCarthy looked terrible. But I wonder, Caleb Williams, if you go back and look at a lot of the games that he's had pretty good stats in, the first half he's good. Like when everything is on script and going as planned and they got the call sheet, the first 25 to 30 plays already designed, that's when he's at his best. You get later in the game when you're going off script and you actually got to do something to win the game, that's when he starts struggling. I think he may be a little bit of a system quarterback. McCarthy, on the other hand, played like garbage the first half, and then when things got off script, that's when he played his best. He's got a little chip on his shoulder. He's cocky, and he's got a little bit of that Joe Burrow, but a lot of mobility in him. When I watch him play, so I think all these quarterbacks can be really good quarterbacks in the NFL, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think QBR is a dumb stat, but neither one of those quarterbacks set the world on fire. I think Caleb had like an 86 or something, and McCarthy had like a 91.
Yeah, so, that's the stat. The crazy thing about McCarthy, at the end of the first half, McCarthy's QBR was like 22. Yeah. And at the end of the game, it was in like the low 90s. So that tells you how big of a swing he made.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm starting to become a little bit of a McCarthy fan. Okay, he got enough cockiness in him for you to love him. I think his team loved him. You saw how they, the coach, I think, gave him the game ball. They rallied around him. They know he ain't what he wants to be or what they need for him to be, but he just got the right personality, the right attitude. He comes to work with a hard hat on and on one of my old metal lunch boxes, and he says, "I'm here to do work." And to me, if you can get somebody to do that right there, that's all you want.
And it's like
that's hard for you to say after what he did to your Buckeyes.
What's that?
So that's got to be hard for you to say after what he did to your Buckeyes.
Yeah. But the thing is, man, I'm a football person. I love the game, and I know when I see people putting their heart in it. That's why I gave so much credit to Purdy. But this guy right here, I don't know what he's going to turn into, what it's going to end up with. But I know he's going to go out there. He'll die on the field for you. I know McCarthy will do that. What you got to have?
Most likely to win a playoff game, by the way, is probably McCarthy, because I don't know if the other ones are ever going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
don't forget about the Falcons now.
The Jets look good too. So
the Falcons. Did you see them play Sunday?
Yeah, they just lost by a field goal, last second field goal.
Shouldn't have been that close.
It was against Tampa Bay, who made the playoffs last year. They're great. Tampa Bay is good.
That's what I'm saying. Buccaneers should have beat them more.
But they did. What you got, Harry?
Okay, what do I have? Well, who impressed me the most so far? Definitely J.J. McCarthy. similar to what you guys were saying, he looked awful until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, 6 of 8 for 87 yards and 2 touchdown passes. And he also had a rushing touchdown, and the team ended up winning. So definitely J.J. McCarthy impressed me the most. Who will have the worst year? God, it's almost like Craig and I have the same thought process. Cam Ward, I like the kid a lot, but similar to what Craig said, he just doesn't have the talent around him right now. It's going to take some patience with Cam Ward, probably a few years. I know that's not what people want to hear, but this year he'll have the worst of the group. Who will have the best year? As far as statistically, um, it'll probably be Caleb Williams statistically. Now that doesn't mean he's the most likely to make the playoff game. Based on the overall roster, I got to go with JJ McCarthy, and he seems to have the clutch gene in him. I saw him do this at Michigan too, where he led fourth quarter comebacks and game winning drives. So most likely to be a playoff team, definitely the Vikings, I would say, because of JJ McCarthy's clutch factor. Now it doesn't look like he's going to be a stat guy. He's just going to make the plays when it counts. That's what I've noticed from J.J. McCarthy.
All right. I think that brings us into to this segment right here. We're gonna wreak a little havoc right here. All right. This is one of my favorite segments next to Dumpster Juice. And this is where Havoc come in and tell us who's wreaking havoc throughout the league. Holla at us, Havoc.
Well, guys, welcome to my segment, Wreaking Havoc. And for this week, it's going to pain me to give it to this guy because he's a former quarterback of a rival, but you got to give it to Daniel Jones. I mean, the first time ever, he led a team to 7 straight scoring drives. And this has never happened before, guys. Now, I know it was against the lousy Miami Dolphins defense, and we had a whole segment about them. But, guys, I mean, has anyone ever seen anything similar to this before? 7 straight scoring drives, and they won 33-8. And I can't believe I'm saying this because it's Daniel Jones. Daniel freaking Jones made the Dolphins defense look horrendous. And I don't know if this will be sustainable for Daniel Jones, but he wreaked havoc last week.
All right. You got us got another one?
No, that was it.
Okay.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Micah Parsons wreaked havoc.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's. Oh man, I still can't believe we traded him. That was a big letdown.
Forced a turnover, 1 sack as a pass. I mean, got off the bus in Green Bay and said, "I'm here, boys," and went to work.
Okay.
Oh, Micah.
So I got a couple. I gotta mention real quick because I rode him real hard for a while. Let me bring Tony back in. Tony, I hope you got some good signal, dude, because you killing me. Listen.
No, I'm on the interstate now. I'm good. You lucky you didn't bring me in that last slide because you had all of them young players in there, and you had Justin Fields, who's been in the league 5-6 years, in that picture with some rookies and 2-year players.
He's on a new team, and he's making the best of what he did, unlike tuna fish.
That man's a veteran. You got him in the league.
But what I was gonna say is, I give this dude hell, but we gotta give him credit this week, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked like vintage Aaron Rodgers, and he talked this shit after the game. He said, I wanted to beat everybody on the Jets. Okay, so I'm gonna give him a little credit for wreaking a little havoc, and then I want to finish up and say, hey, listen, Justin Fields, he wreaked some havoc this week. If you go back and look at it, he had a hell of a game, and he was going up against Aaron Rodgers on the Jets. He looked really good, so I want to say that he wreaked a little havoc too. So. But I don't think that what Rodgers did is sustainable, but it looked good last week. We don't have the dumpster juice this week. Maybe Coach will be back next week to give us some dumpster juice. But
I got a dumpster juice.
You got a dumpster juice?
Yeah, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase. He needs to get in the back of Coach Price's truck and he needs to ride it to whatever city he's going to, and he needs to sit down with Coach Price and study the game until Coach Price thinks it's time to drop him back off. Because Jamar Chase is supposed to be the best receiver in the league, and this and that. This man had more chains on the other week than I've ever seen at any penitentiary, and he had a total of 2 catches for about 13 yards. He didn't do a damn thing. Jamar Chase is the dumpster juice of the week for me.
I want to say I agree with you on that, and I want to say that something going on with them Bengals and even Joe Burrow, all of them. The boss, is something wrong over there, and I don't really like Chase, to be honest with you. I think he's an asshole, and even though he played with LSU, I just think he just got the wrong attitude, man. And I think eventually he and Joe Burrow are gonna go and bump some heads too. Let's pick these games, and we'll be right at the time to get Kevin in the bed and me too. So look, games of the week, run through them. Starting with you, Digo.
Hey, Thursday night football, Commanders, Packers. This is something I'm going to be really interested in tomorrow night. I'm going to go with the Commanders. I'm not going to call them the Commanders. It's the Redskins. You'll know how I feel about that. But it's the Redskins. Jaden Daniels, the former Heisman Trophy winner, and the LSU Bengal cap. They get it done. Eagles, Chiefs. I mean, do I even have to explain? I hate the Chiefs, so go Eagles. Go Philly cheesesteaks. Go Eagles, whatever you want to say. Falcons, Vikings. Listen, the Falcons were upset last week. The fans, they already given up on the Braves real early this year before the All-Star break. They might give up on the Falcons after an 0-2 start. We'll see, because it'll happen on Sunday Night Football coming up soon. Vikings win. Bucks and Texans. This is going to be an interesting game. The Texans did not look that great to me. I thought I would see more. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, I think they have a pretty complete team. They're really good on defense. Offense looked good. Got some new toys and weapons in there, so I think they're going to get it done. The Jags and the Bengals. We talk about this game. Both of these teams have been in the dumpster of the NFL for quite a long while. The Jaguars just traded arguably their best running back on the roster for a washer and dryer to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, which is just unbelievable in my opinion. The former Auburn Tiger Tank Bigsby, and I think he played at Callaway in high school in Georgia.
He did.
But, hey, this game, it's a must-win for both teams, and I know that sounds crazy because I think both teams are 1-0, but it's must-win because it could be on the downhill slide after this for both of them, but I think that the Bengals will get it done. I got a little bit more faith in Joe Burrow than I do Trevor Lawrence. They get it done. And then Chargers, Raiders, the Chargers, they look great. Justin Herbert has been unbelievable for a long time, but he looked even better last week in Brazil. Hopefully – he does not have any kids come up in Brazil in the next couple of years because what he did to the Chiefs was absolutely, it could cause babies to be formed after that night. But Chargers win over the Raiders, probably big.
I don't think it's going to be big. Go, Greg.
I got the Packers, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Bucks, the Bengals, and the Chargers.
Davis.
My thought process behind I think the Bucks and the Texans game is going to be a fun game to watch. I don't know what the over/under is on that one, but I think that might be a track meet. So that was going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And of course, the Eagles and the Chiefs, the Super Bowl rematch. That we gotta that one will be fun too. I do like what happened to the Chiefs the last time they played the Eagles. They got curb stomped. So I hope that happens again. I'm sick of Kermit the Frog. I'm sick of Kelsey. I'm sick of Taylor Swift. I'm sick of all of it. I don't want any the Chiefs. I'm out.
Where can I? For the first time in history, I'm gonna mute Craig's mic. Go ahead, Dave.
I got the Packers. I think that's going to be a really close game, but I think the Packers got too much for the Commanders or the Redskins, as Dalton likes to call them. Yes, sir. I do. And
You said too much.
You don't read. Look, you wouldn't even know the Commanders existed if they didn't have an NFL quarterback from Louisiana.
Hold on,
Nobody cares.
Hold on.
Every time we get a Louisiana LSU player, Barry, you
that is bullshit. I just said how much I could stand. I just said that. So what I'm going to ask I just want a little clarification. You said that you thought it was going to be close.
I do think it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be close. I think the Commanders got a little juice on offense, but
then you said they got too much for them.
Well,
are we forgetting Micah Parsons is on defense right now, Barry?
They do, and that's what I'm saying, man. Micah Parsons is the difference in the Packers last year and this year. That guy is just a disruptor of the game of football if you're on offense, period.
He did nothing in game one until trash time. He played 30 snaps. I mean,
I just want to say the same
player, but he's got to do something.
He got him he had one sack at the end of the game.
Yeah, but he had like two. I'm not trying to blow up on the Alabama play here because you know where he went. I'm not a fan, but he just affects the offense in a whole crazy way to where he shuts his side down.
Yes, exactly.
That's the crazy part about his.
He doesn't have to get sacks to affect the game. I'm 100% with Craig.
Right. Right. Just getting what Nick Saban said, sacks were pretty much worthless. It's moving your quarterback off the spot where he wants to throw. It's making him scramble around when he's making him uncomfortable. That's what it's about. That's Michael Parsons' job. He does.
Wait and see his stat line this year if he don't get hurt at Green Bay.
Anyway, I got the Eagles big over the Chiefs. I'm a big believer in the Eagles this year. I think the Vikings. I want to say the Falcons, but I'm going to go with the Vikings.
It was already open when you said that.
Just due to what McCarthy did. Bucks Texans. I'm going to take the Bucks. I still think the Texans are a couple years away from being a legitimate threat. I'm going to take the Bengals over the Jaguars. Bengals at home. I think I always try to take the better quarterback in any matchup. So that's pretty clear who that is. And then Chargers, Raiders. I'm going with the Chargers. I like Jim Harbaugh. I think he's a top 3 coach in the NFL. He's been a top 3 coach in the NFL before. He's in college, and Chargers has got more on offense, I think, than the Raiders got.
Habit, you gonna let him talk about your quarterback like that?
Who's my quarterback?
Jaguar.
They're down. I got to go in order. All right, Commanders and Packers. I got to go with the Packers here because they're at home. Jaden Daniels is playing. He played good ball, but I don't think he can go to Green Bay and win. I'll go with the Eagles over the Chiefs. This third game here, I think the Vikings are going to lose this game because they had a big comeback and they're going to be riding the emotional high. It'll be too much to overcome, and they're going to lose to the Falcons here. I'll go with the Bucks over the Texans. As much as I like the improvement and balance with the Jags, I don't think we'll be able to stop Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and their offense. I don't see it. I wish we could, but I don't think so. I got to go with the Bengals. And Chargers, Raiders, yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. Like KD said, I believe in Jim Harbaugh too and Justin Herbert. And they got some really good balance now with their play calling. I'm going with the Chargers.
2-turn.
I'm going to go Packers. Same thing. They're at home. I'm not picking against them at home. I'm going to take the Eagles over the Chiefs. I think it'll be a better game than people think. I don't J. McCarthy. I know whatever y'all said, he showed heart or whatever. I think the game's too fast for him. I don't think he's going to be good. Bucks over the Texans. Ever since the rookie year, C.J. Stroud's been smoking Newport, so he's still struggling to get his breath. So I got Bucks by double digits. Bengals and Chargers.
I'd like to take a bet on that double digits on that Bucks Texas game, if you would, sir. I'm going to go with the Packers because I do think Jordan Love is going to play well. It's in is in a bunch of cheese heads, it's going to be hard to win that game. Yeah, as bad as, but I will say, if anybody can win that game, it's Jaden Daniels. He plays great. He plays great when he's under pressure. You remember what he carried LSU? I mean, this boy, he's a bad boy now. Don't get me wrong. He is. I don't think he'll win, but I think he could. I'm going to go with the Eagles because I don't think the Chiefs, I don't feel like the Chiefs are good. I just don't. I feel like this might be one of the worst years for the Chiefs. Unless we some kind of way make a trade to get Tyree, and then it'd be different because Xavier is down, so I don't know what's going to happen with him. Falcons, Vikings, everything in my heart says pick the Falcons. So it's Vikings. Bucks, Texans, I think this is the year, this is the game, that Texans going to pull out one. You know, Bucks seem like they should win. Going to Houston, I think Texas is going to win this game. I definitely think the Bengals going to put together a win over Jags. And here is the game. Y'all all on the Chargers. I'm picking the Raiders. Who's the Raiders coach now?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll knows how to. Pete Carroll
I'm
knows
almost
how to.
with you, Barry. If they win this game, I'm going to change my views on the Raiders.
Hey, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but when Jim Harbaugh was with Stanford, he used to wear out Pete Carroll and those Trojans on a yearly basis.
Well,
Yeah, and isn't Pete Carroll older than Colonel Sanders?
Yes, he is. But he still looks good for his age.
and he's very spry. He can just, the dude is a legend. Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
He is. I agree.
And I think he really likes Geno. Ain't Geno his
Oh, he
quarterback?
does. He personally called him. Yeah, he likes Geno a lot.
And so that's a mutual respect. They're gonna play ball that game. So yeah, guys, that's Dalton, take us out, baby.
Hey, it's always a great show on the Chopping Block podcast, whether it's college football or NFL football. And like I said earlier in the show, this is probably the best weekend in college football so far. We couldn't even get all the games in the show. And the NFL season is heating up. And, hey, it's been a great week for everybody. I called the Rockmart Ringgold game in overtime, and that got the whole weekend started. And I've worked every day since, guys. So tomorrow I have one more day, and then I can take 2 days off because I'm getting a little loony out here. My body's tired, and I need to play some golf. So that's what I'm going to end with the show. Next week, we will be back at 7:30, and we might even have an extra show. We're going to discuss it with the guys and see if you guys want more of the NFL and the college football show separately here on the Chopping Block podcast. So, Barry, take us away until Wednesday night next week.